Hello, 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 hello. How's everybody doing? Hello, hello, hello. It's Thursday. Do mother's curse ever always come to pass? And if they do, will you abandon your mom because she cursed you when you were a child? How will you handle that kind of a situation? Please let me think. Let me know what you think. And when you join, don't forget to like and share and comment because your comments are very helpful to me and for other people who are watching. So, this is one of the topic that triggered me today. And I'm like, maybe this is something that's happening. And I'm here blaming this guy, whereas there are other people who are also abandoning their moms, their dads, because they cursed them when they were children or when they were kids. So, when you're a kid, there's that tendency where you can make mistakes. You do certain things, you say certain things, and you have no understanding. And your dad or your mom will try to put you in order, but you wouldn't listen. And when your mom kind of get tired or get frustrated out of the anger, they will curse you. And when they curse you, people, when they curse you, you wouldn't say, "Oh, they're cursing me now." And then you put it, you have the right to because it's trauma, right? Trauma affects you when you're a child until when you grow. But you have to also work on yourself. Like with this trauma, what do I do? With this trauma, how can I get past this trauma, right? Because trauma is something that's not easy to go deal with. But some people, they carry it on, and instead of coming to sit down with that person or with your mom and talk about it and figure out how to go about it, you know what you guys do? Some people, they decide to abandon their mom. Let's now go to our case study discussion today. I always bring a case study. Even if you don't have to watch all my life, make sure you listen and get the case study. You can then figure out which one is your lesson you're taking from it. So, the case study is this guy, while growing up, was the only son to the mom, and he never had an opportunity. Hey, Loveline, how are you? And he never had an opportunity to get to meet his dad. And nobody knew like what circumstances that got them not to be in talking terms. That the mom, because of anger, will always transfer it to the child and say, "You're behaving just like your dad." Not, I knew nothing good would come from you because your dad has nothing to offer, you see. So this mother will keep cursing and saying all those words. Part of it was anger, part of it was frustration. When you're growing and you be a single mom with a son ready to take care of, and you're not working, all you do is go to the farm and come back. There are a lot of things in your life that you're questioning and saying. And then with that anger, you always transfer it to the child and say, "Your father is sitting there relaxing, your father is doing this, and here you are." All of that you transfer to the child. But this guy was collecting it and keeping, collecting it and keeping. And the mom would say, "Look at your class, look at your mates." Please, parents, never say that to your kids. Every child is unique. Every child is created for a reason. And children, they don't grow at the same pace. If you're a parent, you will bear with me that the child or your children, they didn't creep at the same age. They didn't start walking or start standing at the same age. Each child, and they didn't start talking at the same age. And some didn't have teeth at the same age. That is to tell you that every child matters, and the way they develop, the way they do their own thing, it matters. So don't always compare your children with another, your friend's children or your neighbor's children, and say, look at this person, he's doing this, he's already driving, he is already cooking, he's already doing this, he's going back here and coming back. Everybody has his or her own destiny. Stay on your own lane. If you're looking at somebody else's, you're looking it to use it as motivator, not looking it to to be jealous or to pour it to your child and say, I know nothing good can come from you. Because when you do that, it affects the child's ability to reason, ability to function, ability to be who or as she is supposed to be or as he is supposed to be. So this is something we just want to share about before we continue with our story. So now, guess what? This guy, after when mom was doing all this thing, he got to like 16 years. He couldn't take it, so he left the house because the insults were too much in a way that he couldn't take it from mom again. So he went and was struggling like every other child who was struggling in the street, and he was living in uncompleted buildings. So, and he was trying to navigate and figure out his life. And each time he goes to the church, they say, your mother has placed a curse on you that you will never be anything. Always remember that as a mother, you carried that child in your womb. That was blood. And when you're giving birth to the child, guess what? Blood also comes out. So those things, they happen. That shows a bond between you and the child. And that connection is something you can't take off from your body. So when you are using that and cursing the own child that you gave birth to, you be mindful because you're biting your own hand that is supposed to feed you. Because when you're 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 old and or you can't do anything, what happens is the child that is supposed to support you. But if you have turned the child's feelings to against you, what do you expect? Nothing good will come, because the child has all he has about you is hatred, anger. And you know, when you really want to squeeze somebody but you can't, the urge is in you. So that's how this guy was feeling. So after this guy, he had to pray with the pastor, fast for weeks, and keep praying. And thank God, God blessed him. And when God blessed him, this guy was figure out a business and started doing until he was doing well. But with that anger, with that trauma, he had decided that he has no mom. So when he met his wife, he told his wife that he has no mom, no dad. He has no family because there was no family for him, right? He had nobody. So the wife knew that he had nobody. So this TV presenter was going about doing her business, minding her business. And all along, this mom has been in the village. She has been in the village so sick. So neighbors were not taking turns in caring for her. If somebody has something to do, eat when you eat, cook, you can take a little bit to share with her. And that's how she has been surviving. Before, when she had energy, she could go out and look for her own food. But because she was sick now, she couldn't do that. So she was home. So while this presenter was out there, somebody told her that there's a mom here who is so sick and they have been helping out. And guess what? This woman's son is so rich. So now this TV presenter took attention to and went now and asked the mom. And the mom said, oh, she has a son, but the son hasn't come look for her in a long time, so she's just surviving. So, and they asked if she had the number, and she provided the number. And this lady called, and when they called the son came and said, I have no mother, and he left. So this woman has to use the only option, which was the wife, and told the wife that this is your husband, mom. And the wife was like, nope. My husband told me that he hasn't have a mom, he doesn't have a dad, he has no siblings, he's the only one. So they had to go bring the woman to the house, to the husband. And he keeps saying, no, it's not my mom. No, it's not my mom. No. And the mom called him by name and called him by name twice. And the guy kind of just walked away. So, we women, we have to figure out a way to fix things, right? So the wife came back and tried to plead with this guy. And finally, the guy said he was ready to talk. So they went to see the mom. And the mom all along has been saying, no, I did nothing. Oh, I did nothing. Hey, Lizzie, Lizzie. Hey, I did nothing. So when you said did nothing, I could also understand from where she was coming from. Maybe she might have forgotten, or maybe something has happened, or she never thought those words were getting into the son. So we have to really be mindful with the words that we say, because these kids, they are very good at picking the words and they live in them. Each time the guy thinks about the mom, the words play in his head. And he just said, I don't have a mom. With the help of the wife and the TV presenters, so they came now to this guy and said, oh, they came now to the mom. And this guy now, after a lot of pressure, had to say a word and say, mom, all she did was compare him to other kids, was tell him how he was good for nothing, was tell him how he was not going to be different like his dad, was to tell him that he has nothing to offer. And with all of this, he developed hatred. And the mom, with all of that, she cursed him. And when he cursed him, he couldn't do anything. Anything, he will have a job. The next week, 2 weeks, they fire him. You go to another one, next one, 2 weeks, he fire. Until he went to a church, and the pastor said to him, your mother placed a curse on you. That's why you've not been able to have a job that will last. And he had to pray for weeks and fasted until the pastor has to break that. And with that kind of memory, he has said no to himself that he doesn't have a mother. So, do you blame the guy for not coming to the mom after he made it, knowing that the mom has cursed him and he wasn't getting anything in life until when the pastor prayed for him and they fasted? Do you blame this guy? To an extent, I would say no. Because trauma is real. We have to recognize this. And with that hurt, there is hate. And with that hatred, this guy had the right to make that decision. But on the other side, I would say, at times, circumstances make people do certain things. When your back has been pushed to the wall and you feel you are failing, you don't have anything. And the person with whom you have the baby is not there anywhere to support you. And you're frustrating, you're putting your all. And guess what? If the child is not performing well in school when you're doing your all to pay the fees, you will get frustrated. And being a single mom with absolute poverty is nothing. It's not easy. So that also explain why the mom was expressing herself with a lot of hatred and anger to the child and say, you will never benefit anything. You're just like your dad. I knew nothing good can come from you. See your classmate. See this, they are doing that. See that, they are doing this. See this person, she's doing that. See that other person is doing that. Parents, look after your child, nurture your child, help your child to grow at the pace that they don't have to. Never compare two children. Even if you have 4 kids or 5 kids, you will realize that each of the child functions different and reason different. So never use other kids to compare another kids, because that will make you treat your own child with no love and with anger. So this is what happened. Thanks to this wife who this guy married, and thanks to the fact that this guy loved the wife so much, it's with the wife's intervention, this guy wouldn't have opened his mouth. And do mother's curse do go into effect? Yes. That is the superstition that happens. For those who think that you will do things to your mom and go cause-free, because you have to be mindful that your mother is somebody very important to you, just like your dad. So you should treat them with respect. So, going back to our case study, this guy now has to forgive the mom. I felt like he went too far. He would have brought the mom to the pastor. He would have sat down and talked with the mom and say, how can you, my own mom, be cursing me? What did I do by coming into this world? If you did not like me, why did you bring me into this world? This is the time you sit down with your mom and have a discussion, people. But no, he did not. What if her mom had died, if this person didn't come and see? Then he would also regret and wish he would have fixed things, right? At times we have to be mindful not to allow anger to deal with us a lot, because anger gets to take away a lot of good, lovely moments that we would have shared with these people. And neither, we don't know the day, we don't know the hour, we don't know the minute, we don't know the second. So if you keep dragging and dragging and dragging, if you have issues with your brother, with your sister, with your mom, with your dad, and hoping that time is on your side, please, what I'm telling you today is there's no time. And before you know, that person will pass away. And you blame yourself and say, I wish I would have done things different. I wish I would have reconciled with this person. I wish I would have cared for my mom. I wish I would have forgiven my mom and cared for her. I wish I would have forgiven my dad and cared for her. But that's too late. When we allow anger take a greater part of us, that's what happened. Everything gets late and you start blaming yourself. Oh, why did I allow anger to deal with me? Why couldn't I forgive? Because at times, had it been this guy sat down with the mom as an adult and have a chat and say, Mom, I am really so confused that are you my own biological mother? And I wonder why you would discuss or say things like this to me. What did I actually do wrong by being your son? Why would you say things like that and behaving just like my dad when I never had a chance to see my dad? You never showed me my dad. Why did you say that? So that the mom can have an opportunity to explain her, her own rationale, her own greed as to why she has those grievances. Because at times, until when you have that discussion, you will understand where somebody is coming from. It is so painful that if somebody you love so much abandon you with the baby. It is also so painful if somebody you love and treat with a lot of respect cheat on you, or leave for another woman. You will constantly be hurt. You continue being hurt, and you will not want to talk to other people, and you will transfer the anger. Anger is something that we always transfer, and at times it's not the best. That's the more reason why we make hay while the sun rises. Don't keep the anger for too long. Making peace is the number one friend that we need, for we have no time. If by chance your mother or your dad kind of curse you, please go ask for forgiveness. Ask to have a tete-a-tete discussion with them. Let them explain their rationale. And they can also take back their curse and pray for you. They may curse you out of anger. It doesn't mean that you run away. It's hurting with trauma, but you yourself need healing. And part of healing is communicating, is talking with that person who hurts you really bad. Because if you don't, you're going to continuously be hurt, and the other person may be even be there and not knowing that you are hurt because of them. This mom situation really hurts my feeling, really got my attention. We needed to see where she's living, in the swamps. Nothing to eat. Needed to see where was her room, her bed. And she had a very rich son. Always remember, God can use you. You can be the savior of the family. You can be the Joseph of the family. And don't let that be in vain for God. Because He make you, and He can take a week, a day, and take everything that you have, and you go back to nothing. So in real sense, I think that curses of moms, when justified, they work. And for you to abandon them because of the curse, is I would rather you face them and they take the curse away. Because if you're happy and you're rich, you have money, you're well to do, they also benefit. Whereas if you're not well to do, you're not happy, they will not also benefit. So it's a two-way traffic. And it's always good for as a parent to be able to see your own children grow, to be people, to be responsible, and so that you feel like you did a good job as a parent. But when you start cursing the children, how do you think they're gonna be a good or successful? How do you think they're gonna be that? So you yourself can be proud and pat yourself on the back and say, "Oh, I really did a good job as a parent." How do you think that's gonna happen? I don't think so. I really don't think so. So, people, I needed to bring this so that we could chat on. Don't forget to give your comments. People can learn from. Don't curse. Let's learn not to curse our own. Even when you're angry, say different things, sing, dance, do other things than curse. Because at times, taking back the curse is not as easy as saying it and placing it. And if you love somebody, you will love that person to be happy. You wouldn't love somebody and want that person to be in pain. So thanks so much. Whatever time you watch this, please don't forget to put your comments. Don't forget to share and like. Don't forget to follow Mirages TV. Follow this channel both on YouTube and also on TikTok, please. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and share. See you in my next video. See you in my next video.